Dear students, I hope you all are well and enjoying your online classes. So, in the last week, we discussed about elements and I gave you some questions which are you've seen in your screen now. So, I hope you all do these questions and send it on Sunday. Today, we will discuss about the compounds. Compounds are formed when two or more elements combine together chemically in a fixed proportion. For example, table salt is formed by the combination of sodium and chlorine. Let us find out how elements are able to combine together to form compounds. Okay, as we read about the elements which are made up of only one type of molecules, but compounds are made by when two or more elements are combined with each other. Okay, for example, table salt is example, and it's formed by the sodium and chlorine. It is written as NaCl. I think more of you are able to understand it. NaCl. Okay, so today we will be discussed that how these compounds will be formed. Let us consider the case of compound formed between metals and non-metals. When metals and non-metals react with each other, there is a transfer of electrons from the metal atom to the non-metal atom. Okay, first you have to read about the metals and non-metals, how the compounds is formed between them. Okay, so there is a transfer of electron takes place, okay, between metal and non-metal. The metal atom lose electrons to become positively charged ions called cations, and every time metals will be lose their positively charged ions and they formed cations. The non-metal atoms gain electrons to become negatively charged and called anions. Okay, in this what happened in the example of Na. Okay, it is a metal and it is lose its one electron, so it bear the plus charge, and Cl gain one electron or this and it becomes the negatively charged. Okay, so it is called as, and positively charged ion is known as, this is cation and this is anion. Okay, these oppositely charged ions attract each other, form compounds. The force of attraction between oppositely charged particles is called electrostatic force. Okay, what is called electrostatic force? The force between oppositely charged particles. Okay, when oppositely charged particles attract each other, it is known as the electrostatic force. Okay, oppositely charged means plus minus. We know that same charges repel each other and opposite charges attract each other. Like if there is minus minus, they will be repel from each other. Okay, one goes there, one goes there, but these will forms compound when the charges are different. A chemical bond which is formed due to the electrostatic force between oppositely charged ions is called an ionic or electrovalent bond. Okay, a chemical bond which is formed due to the इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक फोर्स, ऐसा बंध जो इस फोर्स के कारण बनेगा उसे हम क्या कहेंगे? आयोनिक और इलेक्ट्रोवेलेंट बॉन्ड. Compounds with ionic bonding are called ionic compounds. Ionic bonding is responsible for the formation of compound between metal and non-metals. So compounds with ionic bonding are called ionic compounds. Ionic bonding is responsible for the formation of compounds between metal and non-metal. Now if question will be arise that how metals and non-metals forms compounds. They forms compounds by their ionic bonding or which bonding is responsible for this ionic bonding. Okay, many types question will become, but you have to give the right answer. To understand this better, let us see how compound sodium chloride, which we talk about table salt, is formed. Sodium chloride is formed by the combination of sodium and chlorine. A sodium atom loses an electron to form a sodium cation. Okay, I already explained you. Na plus is formed. This electron is gained by a chlorine atom and forms a chloride anion. These positively charged ions attract each other and combine together to form sodium chloride. You can see in the example, okay, Na is a sodium and chlorine atom. These both are atoms, look here, and when it loses an electron it forms Na plus. It means sodium cation and it chloride anion. Understood? If you are not able to understand, you can ask to me. Okay, this is the example of formation of sodium chloride by ionic bonding. That's why these two elements Na and chlorine combine to form a compound NaCl. Now one more thing is here, compounds can also be formed by sharing of electrons between elements. Okay, sharing of electrons between elements. A chemical bond formed by the sharing of electrons between the atoms is called a covalent bond. So here which type of bond is formed? It is a covalent bond because electrons are shared here. Compounds with covalent bonding are called covalent compounds. You will learn more about covalent bonds in your higher classes. Now, polyatomic ions, a group of atoms that functions as a single unit in a chemical compound and carries a charge is called polyatomic ion, which are the group of atoms which function as a single unit in a chemical compound and carries a charge. Okay, polyatomic ion. A compound may also be formed by the combination of elements and polyatomic ions also. So they are earlier called as radicals. Okay, the radical terms is known as polyatomic ions. In your 7th class you already read about the cells, subcells, valencies, so you have to just recall here common polyatomic ions, their formula and valencies and charges. You can see here polyatomic ion name sulfate, chemical formula is SO4 2 minus. Okay, valency also -2, and carbonate ion chemical formula CO3 2 minus, valency also -2, nitrate NO3 minus, and sulfite SO3 2 minus, like that. Phosphate, ammonium, okay, hydrogen carbonate and hydroxide. The outermost cell, in the outermost cell electrons are present is responsible for their valency. Okay, so outermost electrons present in the cell is make the valency of any compound or element. Now the question arises, how we represent the compound, representation of compound. A molecule of a compound can be represented by a chemical formula, okay, which you read here in a chemical formula. How it is formed we will know now. For example, the chemical formula of water is H2O, calcium oxide is CaO, sodium sulfate is Na2SO4, sodium hydrogen carbonate is NaHCO3. Plaster of Paris is a compound which is hemihydrated calcium sulfate. Its chemical formula is CaSO4 half H2O dot half H2O. So how this chemical formula has been originated? To derive some chemical formula, there are certain rules which we read now. So the first formula is, the chemical formula of a compound has two parts. The first part is the cation and the second part is the anion, monoatomic or polyatomic. The valency or charge present on two parts is noted. Here you can understand by this figure 3.3, representation of compounds. Okay, here Ag plus, so it is a cation You have to just notate their charges. And NO3 nitrate is a anion, it is polyatomic. What you have to do, you have to just valency or charge present on the two parts is noted. Okay, so how many charges are present here? It's 1 and 1, plus and minus. Okay, you have to note that. Then valency charges are interchanged and written as subscript next to each part. Okay, valency charge are interchanged. You have to interchange the valency charges. Suppose Na plus Cl minus. Okay, what you have to do, here also 1, here also 1, but there are some other compounds, you have to change their places. Okay, it's came here and its charge came here. In these cases, because it's a simple compound, is formed only 1, that's why it is formed NaCl1. In the case of compounds formed by the combination of monoatomic and polyatomic ions are enclosed in brackets if their valency is 2 or more. So here see in example, here only one valency, here nitrate we already did at one valency. If there is valency more than 2, suppose PO4, okay, what you have to write, that it's written as a in bracket where it was more than 2. To make the formula simpler, the valency of each monoatomic or polyatomic ion is divided by a common factor. If not divisible, the valency is given as it is. Okay, so what you have to do in the case of monoatomic or polyatomic ions, you have to divide. Valency will be divided by a common factor. If not divisible, then the valency will be remain same. Now we understand with the help of examples that how can we derive chemical formula of compounds. In the first example, derivation of chemical formula of iron sulfide, okay, made up of iron and sulfur. So what you have to do, first you have to do write the symbols. As we know, iron and sulfide, iron is written as Fe and symbol, it's a sulfide symbol is S. Now we have to write the valencies. Okay, it's also plus 2, it's also plus 2. Interchange the valencies and write as subscript. Okay, you have to interchange the valencies. Here comes plus 2 and here come plus 2. So what will be happen? Derive the valency by a common factor. You have to divide them. It's 2 1 jar 2, 2 1 jar 2. Now come 1 1. So you write now. Okay, it's simple, F, E and S, because only one valencies come here, na? So when you write it as, it will becomes the chemical formula of iron sulfide is FeS. Now derivation of the chemical formula of iron carbonate made up of iron and carbonate, and a polyatomic ion made up of carbon and oxygen. If you understand this, you can make the chemical formula of any compound. Look here, you have to first write the symbols. Okay, Fe and CO3, Fe and CO3 you write. Okay, then write their valencies. Fe, because valency is given 3, so you write here 3, and here is valency is minus 2, sorry, its Fe valency is 3 and CO3 its valency is minus 2. So now interchange the valencies. So if we change the valencies, what will be happen? In Fe valency happen 2 and CO3 valency will be become, because it is a polyatomic more than 2 atoms, so we have written in bracket, it will become CO3 whole thrice. Okay, understood like that? Divisible the valencies, because there the valencies are not divisible. You can see Fe2 and CO3 whole thrice, it can be divisible, not. Okay, because here 2 is at 3. If not divisible, then you have to write it as S. So the valency is Fe2CO3 whole thrice. Next, one more example, Derivation of the chemical formula of calcium hydroxide made up of calcium and hydroxide, a polyatomic ion made up of oxygen and hydrogen. So you have to write the symbols. Simply I go with the book Ca and OH. Okay, you have to make yourself, practice yourself this step example. So you have to write the valencies now, +2 for Ca and OH for -1. Okay, interchange the valencies and write subscript. Now you have to interchange. Okay, so we interchange Ca and OH. What will happen? 2 happen na? So OH hold twice, it may happen. So it's not divisible. You can see here is 1, here is 2. So we write as it is as CaOH hold twice. So now I am thinking that you will be get aware about how to derive a chemical compound, chemical formula. Okay, chemical formula of any compound. So that's all on now. Thank you.